Hi there, my name is Ryan Anderson, and this is a video associated with a lab that we're running for Think 2018. It is in a series of 5 Python notebooks here. We are on step 3, and we're going to be focusing on natural language classifier. The prior 2 videos, which are available, and links will be at the bottom here, initially go through the first notebook is speech to text, where we take audio and transcribe it. The second one is taking those transcriptions and running them through the NLU service, Natural Language Understanding Service from Watson. And this one is focused on NLC, the Natural Language Classifier. Unlike NLU, with the NLC here, it is configured by a ground truth, a CSV file that is uploaded by the user. It's trained anywhere from sort of 5 to 55 plus minutes to make it available. And then you've got a custom classifier, and the links are available here. Because it does take a little time for the purpose of the lab and the purpose of this video, we are going to use a classifier that has already been trained, but the hooks and the instructions on how to train your own classifier and examples of ground truths will be available there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our project here. You can see our first 2 notebooks have been configured, and we need to create a new notebook for this. So we're going to create new notebook, and we're going to create a notebook using a URL from here. Again, this is step 3 NLC Python notebook. We will copy that, pop it down here, and this will be step 3 NLC. And we're going to call it this 1305, and we're going to create that notebook, and that's effectively going to import from our GitHub repo into our project here. And we'll now have 3 notebooks that are in here. And like the prior videos, if you watch them, there is a configuration step where we need to connect to our cloud object storage and make that available, and the NLC as well. Now, in this case, we've made these NLC credentials that are available just for the purpose of this lab. Like I said, normally you will get your own credentials, as you did with NLU, and have your own endpoint that you will train and hit for the purpose of this lab and to get through and time constraints. We have trained this classifier up already, and these are the usernames and credentials. They'll be available up until Friday the 23rd, and then we'll burn them down. So let's run through here and let's import what we need. The Watson Developer Cloud, we already installed it on a prior one. And now we need to go in. We're not going to need to do those credentials, but we'll need our cloud object storage credentials in here. So let's go pop down. And let's get our cloud object storage credentials in here. Don't need that because we did that later, a little below. So COS, where do we get it? Well, you're going to go in through the services here, or it's a little bit easier if you open a console in a separate window. You can see as we go here to our dashboard that we have all of the services. The DSX Studio, which we're currently operating in, is up here. The prior 2 services, speech to text and NLU, which we launched, are available here, and our cloud object storage, which is in focus, which is what we want here. If we were firing up an NLC of our own, we would do it there as well. So we go into COS, and to begin with, we can get the bucket name, which is up here, CCIA test 1305. Let's go back here, and we'll put it into our bucket. All right, and now we need our credentials. So again, back here, and instead of being on the bucket section, let's click over on service credentials. And we're going to go as before. We're going to take the editor's credentials to give us read-write. And here we are. So we're going to copy that to our clipboard, pop back over here, and we're going to paste it in. And let's run that. And again, so we got our cloud object storage. So the transcripts, the utterances that we're going to ask the classifier to classify are going to be on here from our prior steps. And we're going to tell the system to use the NLC provided by us for the purpose of the lab. Again, this CSV file will make the link available. If you want to train your own, you can do that as well. Unlike the other credentials, the NLC doesn't offer a free light version. You need to pop a credit card on there to get started and to get a baseline of free minutes available, or free API calls available. So let's run our endpoints here. And this NLC code, a lot of this is from the Python SDK for Watson. And this basically processes the text and gets a classification back from the NLC. And let's run this on file list space 0, which is the address change transcript that you've seen in the prior videos. So let's run that and see how we do. And here we are. So we made a call of that first utterance, and we got a 93% confidence that there is this is a standard conversational mode. The next runner-up is a nearly 2% that is a strong signal of joy. So you can sort of play around a little bit, make different calls. The second transcript, if we have it loaded here, is a more negative one. So it'll be interesting to see where that comes out on the NLC. So let's run that and see what happens. And that's a change request. So address change with some negativity, and this one comes in as a change request. The ground truth was a fairly hastily put together one, so this is a good case for um, running and bootstrapping the ground truth in the NLC. But that concludes the demo here of step 3 of how to configure the NLC with this Python notebook. Thanks for listening.